Greetings, loves, and welcome to episode 1 of Them. This is the story of baby Preston Davey. Warning, this video contains distressing information. Now, I want you to meet teacher Jamie Varley. That is him you saw putting on a performance when his adopted son, was taken to the hospital for the final time. Now, Jamie Varley was handed a whole life order, which is a whole life sentence for the murder and sexual abuse of his adopted 13-month-old baby, Preston Davey. Now, he was adopted in 2023 by Varley and his partner, John McGowan, who he was sentenced to 25 years in jail. After an 8-week trial, Varley, 37, was found guilty of murder, sexual assault, and a raft of other child sexual offenses. Now, McGowan, 32, was found guilty of allowing the deceasement of a child, 2 counts of child cruelty, and 1 count of the sexual assault of a child. Now, police described the 2 men as pure evil and said that they made the baby's short life a harrowing tale of misery and pain. Now, a teacher who actually abused and murdered the 13-month-old baby boy he adopted with his partner has been told he will spend the rest of his life in prison. Preston Davey passed away in July of 2023 at the hands of Jamie Varley, 37, who subjected the child to physical, sexual, and emotional abuse during the final 4 months of his life. Varley from Blackpool told police that Preston had accidentally drowned in a bath, but a post-mortem examination discovered the child had suffered 40 injuries. His partner, John McGowan, 32, who was found guilty of sexual assault, child cruelty, and allowing the passing of a child, was sentenced to 25 years. Now, a whole life order means Varley would never be released from prison except in exceptional, compassionate circumstances. I hear he is trying to get out from some kind of illness. I believe it's cancer. And so far they've denied him. But in the months after he adopted Preston Davey, Jamie Varley's social media pages painted a picture of a loving family life. Varley's feed included snaps of himself, his immaculate home, successful career, and his mini-pincher dog, Maximus, who he doted upon. Now, the couple also hosted a chosen shower with cake, decorations, a balloon arch, with Varley painting a living room wall mural of Preston Elijah, the name they chose to give him. But the reality was far more twisted and sinister. Preston was immediately taken into care after being born on the 16th of June in 2022, and he was placed with foster parents at 5 days old. His mother, Sarah Davey, now 42, had been jailed at the age of 14 for the murder of a frail pensioner in 1998 and had been in and out of prison ever since. Preston was adopted at 9 months old in April 2023 by Varley and McGowan. The couple hosted a chosen shower with cake decorations, the balloon arch, the wall mural, and the name Preston Elijah that they chose to give him. The pair met on Canal Street in Manchester's gay village in late 2018 and always wanted to start a family. Varley was described in court as a self-confessed drama queen, while McGowan, reserved and level-headed, was the steady Eddie in their relationship. The couple, who lived together at their home in Blackpool and Lancashire, started the adoption process in December of 2021, and in January of 2023, they were approved for adoption. At the time, the couple agreed that Varley would take a year off of work to look after Preston. Varley first worked at South Shore Academy as a design and technology technician before later becoming a teacher thereafter, training between 2019 and 2021. He also took a pastoral role as designated safeguarding lead and was head of the year. McGowan worked as a sales manager in finance. Messages shown to the jury reveal how Varley was struggling as a new parent, the court heard. "How is being a father treating you?" one message to Varley read in April of 2023. "It's great, exhausting, and not having a decent night's sleep. I knew it would be hard, but this is something else," he replied. "He wakes up almost every 2 hours and have a screaming patty, which takes almost an hour to get him back to sleep." On the 21st of June, he replied to a message saying he had anxiety and maybe a little bit of post-adoption depression. "Didn't reliable. That was a thing, unless a doctor said I'll be all right." But Fallows said, while Farley struggled as a parent, as any new parent does, it went further than that. The picture they tried to present to the outside world was one of respectability, he said. But the truth is far more sinister and darker than that. After Preston began living at the couple's home, he started to suffer non-accidental clusters of injuries, of bruising, seizures, or respiratory failures. And there was evidence of abnormality of his anatomy. In the months before his passing, Preston was taken to the hospital 3 times. Firstly, a nosebleed, a seizure for the second time with a rash and bruising, and a third occasion, a fractured left elbow. On July 27th, he was rushed to Blackpool Victoria Hospital by Varley for the final time. Varley told medical staff he had left the child in the bath for 2 or 3 minutes and returned to find him submerged. But he was dry, and there was no evidence that he had swallowed water. Medics were unable to revive Preston, and he was pronounced deceased in the hospital. A post-mortem examination found 40 external and internal trauma injuries to the child's body, with some consistent with forcible penetration and sexual abuse. It ruled out drowning as a cause of his passing. "I think Jamie Varley has sought to deceive right from day one," said Fallows. "The reality is he's concealed. He lied. His account is or was wholly inconsistent and disbelievable. He's a serial manipulator and a serial liar, and his defense has basically been everybody else is wrong. And that's happened on numerous occasions. I don't see any evidence of regret, remorse, or actual sorrow for Preston Davey. I think any tears have been around Jamie Varley, an arrogant, self-centered liar." Okay, now you got the pretty version. Let me tell you what was found out. It was found that these 2 men were penetrating this baby. It was found out that his primary caregiver, who was allowed to adopt him, was torturing him. Jamie Varley was torturing this young boy, and he was recording himself doing so. They also found a video of the boy standing up in his crib with his neck across the bars, semi-conscious. And both of the parents began to penetrate the child at the same time. They also found videos of other tortures, like bathtub tortures, where they had him on one occasion in the bathtub for 15 minutes, drowning and struggling, while Jamie Varley watched him. He would get upset because the child was staying up at night crying, and he would torture him to keep him awake when he got sleepy. They have video of that as well. You may have seen it online. It's really interesting that he tried to tell people that baby Preston drowned, because he told one of his friends that he often had thoughts of deleting baby Preston by drowning him. He also, on other occasions, spoke of hurting the child. Police found a video that he sent to his husband where he was torturing the child and threatened to delete him. Now, let me tell you what was found as to how baby Preston passed away. They found Jamie Varley's personal fluids in baby Preston's crib. What they also found is that he shoved himself down the baby's throat until he couldn't breathe anymore. In the video where they both were penetrating this young baby, the judge recalls the video and that on one occasion, the child was turning blue. And they continued still to penetrate him. Countless amounts of times, they were penetrating him in his mouth and anally. During the trial, many people came forward to testify of things that were said that were alarming, things that they saw, about the many times the child went to the hospital and they knew that there was abuse, but he was saying the child fell and they never believed him. There were even concerns about the safety of the child before they even adopted him. Now I ask you, why were these two who weren't qualified allowed to adopt this child in the first place, and then allowed to continue to abuse him in such a horrific way over and over again? Film it. Take many pictures of his torture, of his body parts, and then grape him to death. Another question: what is up with them? Why are they so sick? Who could take pleasure in doing this to this sweet, innocent baby? This child didn't even live to see 2 years old. It's really sad and ironic that his mother at 14 tortured and beat an elderly lady until she passed away, and the child she gave birth to was beaten and tortured until he passed away. You can go online and you can listen to the judge give accounts of some of the pictures he saw, some of the videos that he saw, and the many counts of abuse that they charged him with. I believe it was somewhere around 15. Now get this. Jamie Varley just may be able to get out of prison with his serious health problems. It's on the table, and he's going for it. Why is that? His partner, only 25 years. He not only knew about this abuse, but he actually participated in. Remember, these men were entering inside of a young child in ways that no adult should, on more than one occasion. Even when he was near the end of his life, they would continue to do it. They had to know it would only be a matter of time. Also, along with the physical abuse, mental and emotional abuse. Why? What's wrong with them?